Alright guys, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks when dealing with C-trac and DJM2.4. So a few things to know. This is our C-trac here. So if it's summertime, you want to jump around cooling, test your compressors, what you would do is you would put a jumper from C and to compressor 1, C to C1. And then if you look on here, C to C1, pressure switches, you have a condenser fan motor tied in with it, so you don't need to jumper it. And then also, on this guys, there are also two more condenser fan motors, which is CF, that you can also, if you jumper C to CF to get more fans on, and then you would just go through, just continually jump each compressor to test them all, and then jumper from C to CF to test your other last condenser fan motors. So next, if it's winter time or spring and you want to test your economizer, it's the ED right here. So 0 volts leaving this would be 100% closed for economizer, 100% open for return air. So if you were to take this wire off, then it should go into its off stage, which is 100% open return, and your economizer is closed. So what you would do is you would remove this wire. You would put the positive size of a 9 volt D battery to here, and then you would, on the ground side of the battery, or the negative side, sorry, you would just use your alligator clip and put it to ground anywhere on the unit. I have a signal generator which I use, so when I hook my signal generator up, I go to here and then to ground, so then I can adjust it from 0 volts to 10 volts. So if you, like I said, you put a 9 volt battery to the ED on the positive side, and then you would come around. I just switched this unit back on. I think it's cool enough to economize, so it should be switching now. So yeah, it already is switched. So this is my outside air, so it's open, it's getting probably 9 to 10 volts. And then this is return air, which is almost closed. And we can see it slightly opening right now, so obviously we're hitting temperature for the supply setting. So yeah, exactly what you want to do is if you turn the unit off or you unplug the ED, this should open fully and this should close. And there's 2 damper motors. So if you're ever troubleshooting, they both have their own damper motors and then relief dampers. I've been on a service call for this building before, and the bottom one and the middle one, the relief dampers got stuck. They couldn't open all the way, and they were having the doors constantly blowing open around front, and it took a little bit to find it, but yeah, it was relief dampers. So that's how you would try your dampers and your compressors. So if you want to put this guy in a service mode for heating, what you would do is once the unit's running, the fans are running, you would disconnect PVE and FRE, which is for your automation, which is here. And then you would, on this guy, these 2.4s, they don't have dip switches, which kind of is annoying. The newer ones have dip switches to put into service mode. So with those disconnected, the fan running, you would put a jumper from SV to SR, and that will kick on your heat. And then you use your service dial and you stick a little screwdriver in there and you adjust it up or down to ramp up or down your burner. And this is, I actually just finished rebuilding all this. I gotta take that little guy off, but yeah, so that's how you would jumper this guy into heat, jumper into cooling, jumper into economizing. So it's kind of just the basics for servicing. I don't know if you guys know what the TP here. So if you want to read your supply temperatures and such in supply set point, if you don't have access to the automation, see right here, discharge temperature. So if both these dip switches is off right here, and you put your meter in volts DC from TP to neutral, that will give you a volts right here. So 1 volt is 10 degrees Celsius. So whatever voltage you have, you can know your temperature. And then you just switch your dip switches for your discharge set point and such. So hopefully that helps you guys a little bit, just kind of base knowledge on a few things if you're doing servicing. There's a lot more to know, a lot more to go through, but I think that's a good starting point for a lot of you guys. Perfect. Any questions, let me know.